All right, what's going on, guys? So I took a poll on my community channel and I wanted to know exactly what type of content you wanted me to post up. We found out that you like to see exercises that are conducive to combat sports. So any special exercise or anything that's going to increase your performance as a combat sport athlete or somebody who just wants to train like a fighter. So today I'm gonna give you a couple of exercises that you can take with you that I use personally with all my fighters when I go ahead and train for a camp. Let's get into it. So the first exercise that we're gonna use is a split stance, clean to rotational press. Now what this is going to help with is rotational power. You're also gonna get into almost a triple extension here because as you go to drive up, you're gonna extend the hips, extend the ankles, extend the knees, and then push into rotation and drive through in that transverse plane. Really good for strikers, really good for any combat sport athlete to get their hips involved and to work on a pressing motion in this transverse plane. So we have the barbell connected to a landmine. You're gonna split your stance. If you don't have a landmine, you can put it into a corner of the gym on the wall, or you can use a bumper plate and place it inside the hole of the bumper plate. So what we're gonna do is take the barbell at the end. From here, you're gonna actively drive your hips into extension as you go to pull the elbow high. So it's similar to a high pull from Olympic lifting. You're gonna high pull it up, single arm, get into hip, ankle, and knee extension, and then you're gonna transfer the bar over to the other hand. As you go to step on that B step here, you're gonna step out on a 90-degree angle and then punch up. So it's here, punch through. You're up, boom. So you're getting that extension in the ankles, the knees, and the hips, driving through and then feeding one hand of the barbell to the other hand with the barbell. Boom. Rotate through, internally rotate the back leg, maintain position, keep that lat engaged. You don't want to get too far extended. So lats engaged and you're pulling through. High pull on the elbow, right? So it's first initiating with the high pull. You drive up, boom. Internally rotate, keep the lat engaged. All right, moving on. Now we're gonna work on getting some strength for our grapplers. You're gonna utilize a heavy dumbbell and a monster band or a heavy band. Now you can get the bands at EliteFTS.com. I have no affiliation with them, but I do have a lot of their equipment and I like the company. I know you guys are gonna ask me what bands to get, so get them at EliteFTS.com. Now, dumbbells, it doesn't really matter, right? You just wanna make sure that you are gripping the ends of the dumbbells. And the reason why is because not only are we gonna work our upper back, but you're also gonna work grip strength and hand strength. Very important for grapplers in close quarters. Very simple. You tie the band low, and as you go to pick it up, not only are you going to get resistance from gravity, but you're also gonna get resistance from the band. So you're getting accommodated resistance at the end of your motion, which is gonna be the hardest. Very simple. You take the dumbbell, you're gonna grab at the ends, grip it tight, arch the back slightly, pull it into the chest. Big stretch, pull, pull. Like I said, not only are you working your upper back, you're working your lats, you're working your rhomboids, you're working your traps, you're working the biceps, but you're also gripping it, working the hand strength. Very important. I've done this as a part of a circuit. I've done this as a part of their accessory exercises. Basically, kill two birds with one stone. So you're gonna be building up your backside, building up your upper back, and working the grips too as well. So we did a power exercise for the upper body, and then we did a strength movement for the upper body. Now we're gonna move our way into the lower body. This is gonna be another power movement. We're gonna use a jumping pattern. We're gonna go linear. Your wrestlers, your grapplers that are looking to get that blast double or just penetrate through their opponent, this is gonna be very good for you. So what you're gonna do is go foot elevated, single leg broad jump. And why we're doing this is to get that elevation so we can drive the knee over the toe, and then we're gonna explode and propel ourselves off the box into hip extension to get as far out as possible. So yes, we are working on that linear force. We're trying to drive our way through and get as much distance as possible. Only thing you're gonna do is back foot, ball of the foot. We're not flat. You're gonna drive the knee over the toe, slight heel raise here. We're gonna drive off the ball of the foot, get full hip extension, and then land on 2 feet. We're here, drive. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the strength portion of the lower body. We did the power motion. Now we're gonna go into an exercise that is going to allow you to produce force from the ground up. This is from a static position. You guys probably know this. This is a deadlift. We're gonna use the trap bar. You don't necessarily need to use the trap bar, but I like it. Puts the tension in the midline of the body, and it allows you to actually get into good position. With a lot of my fighters, they lack the mobility in the upper back. They lack mobility in the hips. As we're trying to increase that, we can still work a strength movement or a deadlift movement movement with this trap bar. Now, if you don't have a trap bar, you can use dumbbells and set them up on blocks. As you go to pull, just make sure your hips are in the right position and make sure that you're not hitting your knees or anything like that as you come up. We're gonna use a deficit style deadlift here. So I'm gonna place 2 mats or 3 mats down on the floor. That's gonna give me more of a range of motion to pick the bar up off the ground. And I'm also going to use the lower handles. So I'm flipping the trap bar upside down and basically using the lower handles. That's going to allow me to get bigger range of motion. That's gonna allow me to use my legs, my hips, my glutes, my hamstrings, everything in this lift. Very simple. You're gonna take the bar, you're gonna grab the handles, hips are low, chest is tall, lats are tight, and then you're driving up into full extension. Back down, start from a static and then dynamic, right? So static position, lats tight, chest up, gonna drive, leg drive the floor, up, and then hip extension. I like the deficit because longer pull, make sure that you're working the entire lower body, and also you have to maintain your posture by utilizing your lats to maintain your extension in your spine. So main cues that you have to look out for. 1, keep the upper back tight. I like to use a cue, crush your armpits. So crush your armpits, lock your lats in, keep the chest locked in, make sure that you're not overextending and you're not rounding at the top. As you go to sit down, you're gonna sit your butt back slightly, bend the knees, grab the handles, chest is up, and then drive through, right? Now, if you lack that range of motion, obviously you can go to a higher handle, but you want to get as low as possible for this particular exercise because it is a deficit deadlift. All right, so there you have it. 4 exercises, 2 for the upper body, 2 for the lower body, 1 for power, and 1 for strength. Sets and reps. So for the power movements, we're gonna do somewhere around 3 to 5 sets, roughly 3 to 5 repetitions on both sides if you're doing unilateral work. For the strength movements, you're gonna do somewhere around 3 to 5 sets again, maybe even 7. If you go into those maximal zones where you're working towards a 1 repetition max, you wanna make sure that you're sticking between 3 to 5 repetitions there. If you're gonna work into your 1 rep max on the trap bar deadlift, then you wanna make sure that you're doing singles, nothing more than a double to get your maximal strength increases. So there you have it. I have plenty of videos on how to structure this inside of a training program. And if you want to utilize some of these exercises, check out all of my programs down below. Link is in the description. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification, and hit the like button. I'll see you again next time. Peace.